Welcome to a meeting with Gervis. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Joining me today is Jeremy along with Madeline, and we'll be talking about CASA and how you can be involved, how you can get involved, and what is CASA and what's coming up. So Jeremy, tell me, what is CASA?
All right, CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. What we do, we advocate for children who are in foster care. So our volunteers who are trained get sworn in by a judge, and they in turn get assigned a case by a judge, and they go out into the foster homes and advocate for the children on their best interest.
Okay. So how can we reach your office to become a CASA volunteer?
All right, anyone can call our office. Our number is 337-948-3550. They can give us a call. We have a online application on our website, www.CASAStLandry.org. You can complete the application and we'll give you a call for an interview.
Great. So Madeline, tell us, who can be a CASA volunteer?
So anyone above the age 21 or older can be a volunteer with a clean criminal history. They must be willing to undergo an intense training. And I say intense because not everyone may have 30 hours to donate towards training. We don't believe in just putting someone in the position of CASA because they may have a heart or compassion to serve. You still have to be trained on how to advocate for a child. So if you're 21, clean criminal history, and willing to do the 30 hours of training, we're willing to train you. You also have to do a court observation with that as well.
So you mentioned 21. What if we're seniors and retired who have a lot of time to give and energy to give? Can they also volunteer?
Absolutely.
Yes. Let me hop in real quick, right? So most of our volunteers are 60 plus.
Okay.
We recently, did some work within the program, figuring out some numbers, some data, some statistics, and we found out we have over 14 volunteers here with our program who are 60 plus.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter your age. You can always, volunteer with CASA. We don't discriminate on age. So if you can do the work, if you can drive to a foster home, if you can see a kid, if you can go to court, we will accept you if you can pass that criminal background check and meet all the necessary requirements of the program. We would love to have you join our CASA family.
Wonderful.
I love how Jeremy interjected. I love that.
He's had a great teacher.
Yeah, that was some energy right there. He gave some energy, but he is absolutely telling the truth about that. And I just find that seniors are those who have retired. They have the time, the commitment, and they want to give back to their communities because maybe they were working, they have families to raise, and they couldn't do as they would have wanted to do. So then they really give back. And those are the ones who I find that are really connected with the advocate supervisors along the way because they have the time and the effort. A lot of times they'll come into the office, hey, I need help with this court report. And the guys or myself will be there for them. They just so much, more visible in terms of what they can offer at that particular time, not discrediting anyone who has a family, but these seniors who are retired have a little more time than they do.
Right, and so much knowledge to offer and compassion as well.
Yes.
So what can we expect from CASA St Landry Evangeline in the upcoming days?
So next week on May 12th, which is a Thursday, we're going to have our 13th annual CASA Kids Benefit Banquet. We've been having this banquet for almost 13 years, so next Thursday will be 13 years. We'll be honoring many community supporters, also acknowledging our volunteer of the year. We also do a board member of the year, so it's going to be a very nice event that we do annually where we give, just recognize those people who've been instrumental in our progress with CASA. So that's going to be at 6 p.m. May 12th at the Opelousas Civic Center. Tickets are $30. CASA, that is one of our major fundraisers. So let me explain the funding of CASA. We're funded through Louisiana Supreme Court, but only up to 80% of our funding. The other remaining, we have to go out and fundraise or get private donations find grant funding. We have to diversify our funding. So we're very fortunate to receive as much as we do from Supreme Court, but it doesn't cover all. So this event that's coming up Thursday is going to be a major fundraiser for us. We are looking for sponsorships for that event. We sell through ticket sales. Even at the event, we plan to have a raffle there so that we can recoup, some of the funding that we have to get to make our program run efficiently, effectively at 100% of budget.
Okay, Jeremy, anything you want to add?
I just want to make a plea to anyone who would be interested in volunteering with our program to please give us a call. We want to call out some of the younger crowd, that crowd between 21 and 29 years old. Your voices are needed on our team. Our kids need you. We are the voice for the voiceless, and we hope that you would consider being a part of our team. We have so many young kids who need your voice in court. They would love to have your voice. You match their age demographic. You're closer in age to them, so you may be able to better understand their needs and situations. And we ask that you guys would, consider coming to our program and volunteering with us.
So anything we'd like to share in closing as we come to the end of our interview with CASA St Landry Evangeline?
So for me, I would like to echo what Jeremy said. There is a need, but I don't want to call out like a particular age, because I want to call out all ages. There's a need for this program to remain active in our community, and in order to do so, we need the volunteers. We're grateful for the 30 plus volunteers that we currently have. So I want to give a shout out to them and say thank you all for giving of your time, your efforts, your wisdom, your talents to make sure that this community receives it, and to make sure that you're advocating for a child who is in foster care system. So for those who may be unaware, this month is Foster Care Awareness Month. Along with saying thank you to the volunteers, I like to say thank you to the foster care parents. These are the many parents who host children in their homes, not their biological children, but they're taking on children in the community. It may be family members of them, but some take on people, our children who are not family members. So we want to give a shout out, a thank you, a praise to foster care parents for extending their time to their community, because you don't just help a child, you change a community when you decide that you want to foster. So if you are interested, you're looking at this interview and you're interested in fostering, please give us a call. We can get you connected with Department of Children and Family Services. We don't actually, do the fostering portion, but there is also training hours that are required by a foster if you want to be a foster or adoptive parent. And we can certainly get you connected with DCFS. So thank you to volunteers, foster parents, and also like to the many sponsors and donors. We cannot have this event annually. We cannot do what we do if it were not for your help, your support. We would love to be able to just do everything without fundraising, but it really takes a village. We've all heard the saying. Exactly. We all heard the saying it takes a village to raise a child. Well, guess what? It takes a village to encourage a village. So thank you to the village for being there for CASA. Jeremy, I don't think we had a chance to say, but I've been with CASA almost 11 years, so 10 and a half years. Jeremy, what is it for you, 9?
Going on 9.
Going on 9. So we're fortunate to have some staff members here, and we don't typically have a high turnover rate. So we get to be a part of the community and have been for ever since we've been employed with this organization.
And it seemed like you guys have fun. I saw you all in Chautauqua recently, and
yes.
the walk here in Opelousas, and I might want to be part of this family. There's so much excitement.
Hey,
and Jeremy stays so thin. Y'all eat so much, Jeremy.
Hey, I don't know how you do it.
You give away sacks of crawfish the other day in Chautauqua and all kind of meats and stuff.
Yes.
So if you want to be a volunteer with CASA St Landry Evangeline, or any CASA anywhere in the world, you can do that. And is there really a lot of African American volunteers? Do we have a lot?
So I'll say this: we are very fortunate in the St. Landry Evangel
Okay.
Parish area because majority of our volunteers are African Americans.
Okay, good.
But some parishes, that is their struggle. I'll
Right.
tell you what's our struggle. Of course, we don't have enough of other races who would like to
Okay.
volunteer, but one of our struggles is males.
Okay.
Like we lack in that department. I know that I'm pretty sure we have less than 5 males or right on that point.
Okay.
So out of those 30 something volunteers, you can pretty much do the math. We don't have enough males. But then we find, and Jeremy can correct me, that there's a lot of male boys, kids who are in foster care. So a lot of times, like the females have to take on a male case or a case with a male because there's just not enough males for the males.
Okay.
So we want to challenge all males, please, if you want to give back to your community. Here's another way. I often hear when I'm in a community, Gervis and Jeremy, y'all tell me if y'all hear the same. I don't have the funds to, make that donation, or that's pretty pricey. I can't do this, I can't do that. But volunteering, it doesn't require like you to put the funds right in our hands,
Right.
but you have a way of sowing a seed into your community that you are funding the program.
Right.
So if you come and volunteer, it's a way to fund the program
Right.
that we have here. We're very fortunate. There's 3 parishes in the state of Louisiana without a CASA. And we're very fortunate to say that we have a CASA, and we've been having a CASA for quite some time.
Wonderful. And of course, St. Landry is a very large parish, and then you take on evangelism with that. So many volunteers are needed. So as she mentioned about the men shortage, of course, the Omegas out there, the Deltas, you're all out there. Of course, your deacons out there. You're looking at the Knights of Peter Claver, the Masons. So fellas, you're out there with your volunteer organizations. You can come out and share your time with CASA St Landry Evangeline. Anything in closing before we go?
And this was short. That's all I want to say. I wish it was longer because I'm enjoying this. I do want to give a little more. I'm more the talker, and I'll let Jeremy. So the background of CASA, I know people hear about it, but there was a judge by the name of David Suku who was back in the 70s having to make judgment on cases. And so he felt like when it came to the child welfare cases, he didn't have enough knowledge. He didn't want to make, a decision and not know enough. He was a judge of general jurisdiction, meaning he handled all cases.
Right.
So that's the birth of CASA. So when he felt like I don't want to go home making a bad decision, I need people who can volunteer. So when he, brought on the volunteer components, CASA just grew into this national organization.
Okay.
So it's yes, we have a local program, but this is a local program that came from a national organization, started in Seattle, Washington, and it made its way to Louisiana in the 1980s.
Okay.
So as of today, we're 2022, and we're CASA. We have 7 staff members. So if staff members are watching this, thank you all for your services. We have we're interviewing in Opelousas office, but we have an Evangeline Parish office, which is 721 West Lincoln Road, where Alicia Arvey and Adrian Jerome spends the bulk of their time in the office servicing that community. And we have a few staff members here that go back and forth. That's Shelby Santiago, who's the trainer, Pastor Clarence Lazard, who goes back and forth. He's the outreach coordinator. Jeremy Richard, who's here with me, he's the lead advocate supervisor. Chris Poulard, who is the advocate supervisor, and then myself as the director. This has been a great experience. So I want to tell you, thank you, Gervis, for getting the information, not just of CASA, but information out to our community. I want to tell you to keep thriving, keep striving, and keep making our public aware of what's there. Because a lot of times people don't understand the resources that are in our community. So I hope that May 12th you can come to our event and be a part of it.
I do my very best to make it there.
Yes, sir.
I thank you all for what all you do, and of course, it's been a meeting with Gervis, with CASA St Landry Evangeline, and I have to say this in closing. If I never knew there was a CASA anywhere else, I know there's one in St Landry Evangeline, because everywhere you look, work is being done with our young people, and the CASA people love what they do. Meet me next time for a meeting with Gervis, right here.